What's good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're going to be doing another top 10, and this is going to be your top 10 basic draw cards. Now, of course, throughout the ages, there's been lots of cards, but these are going to be the ones that are less archetypal and just generic stuff that almost any deck can use. Now we got Draw of Fate to start it off at the number 10 spot. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, and your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, even if it's tied, reveal 3 cards with different names from your deck and place them on the top of your deck in a random order. And then you draw 1 card. But for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot set spells, slash traps. Also, you can only activate one more card effect, sorry. You can only use this once per turn. So obviously, you got to line it up, and this is like where the kind of card where you know you need that last piece, maybe of Exodia or like an actual combo piece. And then bam, you can set off into this, and then that's just your last play basically that you go into. So, it can have its advantages, and it's supposed to kind of, go after the anime where you could pull Exodia or, Dark Magician, Yugi stuff. It's obviously Yugi's hand in the Draw of Fate. But a pretty good draw card. Only 1 card you get out of that. But it's basically something that you get to choose, but the downsides, you can't pop off with anything else after you use it. So we got Pot of Avarice coming in at number 9. Target 5 monsters in your graveyard and shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 2 cards. Now at one point, this card was super powerful when the game wasn't as quick as it is today, and everyone could just pop into this and you could be getting lots of stuff off. Nowadays, not as many people rock it. At one point it was limited. I think it could have been banned at one point too. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it was, it has been power crept, but it used to be a good card. Pot of Avarice, and this kind of represents, the Pot of Greed in some ways. Obviously, I'm not going to put that on the list because it's just a bit too easy, and it's a banned card. So, Pot of Avarice. And just for a runner-up, I'd say also Pot of Duality and some of the other pots. They fit into that same area. Next, we're going to go into Advaned Draw at the number 8 spot. Tribute 1 face-up level 8 or higher monster you control. Draw 2 cards. So this is where you can turn, some bigger stuff into some draw power. If you have a monster maybe you're done with, or, you're doing some tribute plays, you can go into 2 cards. It keeps it simple. It's Advaned Draw, nothing too nuts about it. Coming in at the number 7 spot, Cup of Ace. This card has had its spot throughout history where it's got ultimate power. You can really get into some of the mad cards, but there's the downside that your opponent might get them. Obviously, there's ways to support this. There's cards where you can like re-flip a coin and stuff like that. And, you can maybe get your chances out a bit better. But in the end, you may not get those 2 cards. But if you do, it can be a huge advantage and a little bit of a plus off the card. Cup of Ace. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we got Precious Cards from Beyond. And, when you successfully tribute summon or set a monster that required 2 or more tributes, draw 2 cards from your deck. It's not too bad, because it's almost a bit better than the Advanced Draw in some ways, where you're tributing into that monster, and then bam, you can just pop off. And obviously, it is also a continuous. So bam, you can really go into those plays. And you can get multiple draws off that if you keep this on the field. So Precious Cards from Beyond, it's a bit of an underlooked card, but it does have some cool plays on it. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we got Reckless Greed. Now, it's a trap card, but it is draw 2 cards and skip your next 2 draw phases. Now, if you are comboing this with some other draw spells, you can get into just more draws. And this can be your kind of final hit on it. And you can also kind of combo it so once it gets around to your next turn, you can use it and still get that draw from that turn. Or you could use it before just to quickly try and get through those turns. So there is some different tactical plays to it. And it is good to just have it as a set card they might try to blow it up, and then bam, you can just Reckless Greed, and you debated their attack, or their destruction. So Reckless Greed, it holds a special place. You can always pop off some wild combos with it for sure. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we got Pot of Desires. And this also encompasses some of the other pots as well. But, banish 10 cards from the top of your deck face down and draw 2 cards. So depending on what your deck is, this might be helpful if you might be able to just get those 10 cards out. You know that you have enough combo pieces that most likely you're going to be able to get into your big combos still. And even if not, it can just be generically helpful for speeding up your plays a bit. So Pot of Desires, can be pretty good, especially if you're doing, maybe Gren Maju, you're trying to get those extra attack points. There's lots of reasons Pot of Desires can be very helpful. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we got Upstart Goblin. Now, of course, Upstart Goblin, draw 1 card from your deck, your opponent gains 1,000 life points. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it won't really matter that much, because you can still pull off some wild plays. Back in the day, it wasn't as big of a deal, but now it's kind of gotten more into the craziness, because that 1 card could just get you a monster where you're doing mad damage anyway, or clearing their field. So Upstart Goblin can just be a quick way with very minimal downsides to get an extra card, thin your deck out, whatever you need to do. You basically have a 39 card deck if you got one of these in there, and so on and so forth. So it can be very advantageous for sure. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we got Heart of the Underdog. Now, this is another one of those cards that it gets a little bit more specific, but if you do have some normal monsters in your deck, you can keep using this to pop off and combo into some more stuff, especially with like maybe Exodia decks, stuff like that, where you're trying to get through those cards as quick as possible. This can help out. You can combo off, there's lots of different plays with that. Heart of the Underdog. Plus, it's just a great card overall. The art, obviously, very representational. Coming in at the number 1 spot, Supply Squad. Now, this card is just another good way to bring in those bonus those bonus cards. Because, once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, draw 1 card. Now, in the usual days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, this is going to be happening almost constantly. So you're basically guaranteed to get this off almost every turn on both turns. Because things are going down all the time. You're losing monsters constantly. It can be a good way to pop off and get some extra cards into your hand, especially if you have multiple of them at a time. So that basically covers, the basic top generic stall cards. If you think I missed anything, as of always, make sure to tell me in the comments. I can always make a part 2 or get into the specific, like, real hardcore, ups or draw cards. And, like, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell, and make sure to check out my other top 10s as well as my deck profiles and such. And thanks for watching. Peace.